When chapman billies leave the street, and drouthy neighbours meet, when market days are wearing late, and folk begin to tack the gate, while we sit boozing at the nappy and getting fou and unco happy, we think no the lang Scot smiles, the mosses, water, slaps and styles that lie between us and our hame, where sits our sulky, sullen dame, gathering her brews like gathering storm, nursing her wrath to keep it warm. This truth fand honest Tam o' Shanter, as he for airy night did canter, all dare, while ne'er a tune surpasses for honest men and bonny lasses. O Tam, had thou but been so wise as ta'en thy ain wife Kate's advice, she telled thee weel thou was a skellum, a bletherin', blusterin', drunken blellum, that fae November to October, market nicht thou was the sober, that ilka melder with a miller, thou sat as long as thou had siller, that every naig was cawed a shoein', the smith and thee got roaring fooin', that at the Lord's house, even on Sunday, thou drank'st wi' Captain Jean till Monday. She prophesied that late or soon thou wouldst be found deep, drowned in doon, or catched wi' warlocks in the mirk by Alloway's old haunted kirk. Gentle dames, it gars me greet, to think how many counsels sweet, how many lengthened, sage advices the husband for the wife despises. But to our tale. Market nicht, Tam had got planted, uncorrect, fast by an ankle, blazing finely, with reaming swats that drank divinely, and at his elbow, Suitor Johnny, his ancient, trusty, drouthy crony. Tam looed him like a very brother. They'd been fou for weeks together. The night drave on with sangs and clatter, and aye the ale was growing better. The landlady and Tam grew gracious, with favours secret, sweet, and precious. The suitor told his queerest stories, the landlord's laugh was ready chorus. The storm without McRae and wrastle, Tam didn't mind the storm a whassle. Care, mad to see a man sae happy, e'en drowned himsel' amang the nappy. As bees flee hame wi' lades of treasure, the minutes winged their way with pleasure. Kings may be blessed, but Tam was glorious, o'er all the ills of life, victorious. But pleasures are like poppies spread. You seize the flower, its bloom is shed. Or like the snowfall on the river, a moment white, then melts forever. Or like the borealis race that flits ere you can point their place. Or like the rainbow's lovely form vanishing amidst the storm. Nae man can tether time nor tide. The hour approaches. Tam maun ride. That hour of night's black arch, the keystane, that dreary hour he mounts his beast in, and sic a night he tacks a road in, as ne'er poor sinner was abroad in. The wind blew as 'twad blown its last, the rattling showers rose on the blast, the speedy gleams the darkness swallowed, loud, deep and lang the thunder bellowed. That night a child might understand, the deil had business on his hand. Wheel mounted on his grey mare, Meg, a better never lifted leg, Tam skelped it on through dub and mire, despising wind and rain and fire, whilst holding fast his good blue bonnet, whilst crooning o'er some old Scots sonnet, whilst glowering round with prudent cares, lest bogles catch him unawares. Kirk Alloway was drawing nigh, where ghaists and hoolits nightly fly. By this time he was crossed the ford, where in the snow the chapman smoored, and past the birks in Meeklestane, where drunken Charlie brak's neck bane, and through the winds and by the cairn where hunters found the murdered bairn, and near the thorn aboon the well where Mungo's mother hanged hersel. Before him Doon pours all its floods, the Dublin storm rose through the woods, the lightnings flash from pole to pole, near and more near the thunders roll, when, glimmering through the glowering trees, Kirkalloway seemed in a blaze. Through Ilkabor the beams were glancing, and loud resounded mirth and dancing. Inspiring bold John Barleycorn, what dangers thou canst make us scorn, wi' tippenny, wi' fear nae evil, wi' usquivay, we'll face the devil. The swat sae reamed in Tammy's noddle, fair play, he cared na deals a boddle. But Maggie stood richt sair astonished, till by the heel and hand admonished she ventured forward on the licht. And thou, Tam saw an unco sight. Warlocks and witches in a dance. Nae cotillion Brent knew fae France, but hornpipes, jigs, strathspeys and reels put life and metal in their heels. A winnock bunker in the east, there sat old Nick in shape of beast. A towsy tyke, black, grim and large, to gie them music was his charge. He screwed the pipes and gat them skill, till roof and rafters all did dirl. Coffins stood round like open presses that showed the dead in their last dresses, and by some devilish cantrip slight, each in his cold hand held a light, by which heroic Tam was able to note upon the haly table a murderer's banes in gibbet arms. 'Twas Spanlang wi' unchristent bairns. A thief new cut it for the rape, wi' his last gasp his gab did gape. 5 tomahawks wi' blood red rusted, 5 scimitars wi' murder crusted, a garter which a babe had strangled, a knife a father's throat had mangled, wham his ain son of life bereft. The grey hairs yet stuck to the heft, were mair horrible and awful, that even to name would be unlawful. As Tammy stood, amazed and curious, the mirth and fun grew fast and furious. The piper loud and louder blew, the dancers quick and quicker flew, they reeled, they set, they crossed, they clickit, till Ulka Carlin swat and reekit, and coosed her duddies to the wark, and linkit at it in her sack. Now, Tam o' Tam, had they been queens, plump and strapping in their teens, their sarks, instead of creasy flannin, been snow white 1700 linen. Nae breeks o' mine my ainly pair, their ains were coughed a good blue hair, I would ha' gien them off my hurdies, for ae blink o' they bonny birdies. But withered beldams, old and droll, rig woody hags would speen a foal, louping and flinging on a crummock. Sonder didna turn my stomach. But Tam kenned what was what fu brawly. There was a winsome wench in Whalley, that nicht enlisted in the corps, lang after kenned on Carrick shore, for mony a beast to dead she shot, and perished mony a bonny boat, and shook baith meikle corn and beer, and kept the countryside in fear. Her cutty sark of Paisley harm that as a lassie she had worn, in longitude though sorely scanty, it was her best, and she was vaunty. Little kenned thy reverend granny The sack she coughed for her wee Nanny wi' 12 Scots, 'twas all her riches, would ever grace a dance of witches. But here my muse her wing maun cour, sic flights are far beyond her power, to sing how Nanny lap and flang. Oh, supple jade she was and strang, and how Tam stood like ane bewitched, and thocht his very een enriched. Even Satan glowered and fidged fu fain, and hotched and blew wi' micht and main, till first caper, syne another, Tam tint his reason altogether, and cries out, "Well done, Cutty Sark!" And in an instant all was dark, and scarcely had he Maggie rallied, when out the hellish legion sallied. As bees biz out wi' angry fyke, when plundering herds assail their bike, as open pussy's mortal foes, when pop she starts before their nose, when eager runs a market crowd, when catch the thief resounds aloud, so Maggie runs, the witches follow, with many an eldritch screech and hollow. Ah, Tam, thou'll get thy fairn, in hell they'll roast thee like a hern. In vain thy Kate awaits thy coming, Kate soon will be a woeful woman. Now, do thy speedy utmost, Meg, and gain the keystane of the brig. There at them thou thy tail may toss, a running stream they darena cross. But ere the keystane she could make, the faint a tail she had to shake. For Nanny, far afore the rest, hard upon noble Maggie pressed, and flew at Tam with furious ettle. But little wist she Maggie's mettle, a spring brought off her master hail, but left behind her ain grey tail. The carlin clocht her by the rump, and left poor Maggie scarce a stump. Now, wha this tale of truth shall read, ilk man or mother's son, take heed, whene'er to drink ye are inclined, or Cutty Sarks run in your mind. Think, ye may buy the joys o'er dear. Remember Tam o' Shanter's mare. And by some devilish cantrip slight, each in his cold hand held a light, by which heroic Tam was able to note upon the haly table a murderer's banes and gibbet arms. 'Twas but here my muse her wing maun cour, sic flights are far beyond her power, to sing how Nanny lap and flang. Oh, supple jade she... That's terrible.